Hey buddy, are you ready to go to the lake? You wanna go to the lake? What's up? MountainManDan here. I might have a history that some of you don't know. I grew up in the water sports industry. More specifically, a wakeboarder. I learned how to water ski. I don't think I ever got to the point of using the single ski, which people call slalom. And I went right to wakeboarding. I found it more fun. I saw a video later on, people were doing flips and the infamous move, the Superman, or Rayleigh, the Rayleigh. I knew I had to do it, so that was always my thing. I went right into wakeboarding. So when my friend Aaron gave me the invite to do some wake surfing this weekend, I thought, yeah, let's go get behind the boat a little bit. And what really entices me is wake surfing and using it as good training for surfing, so I can practice popping up from the board, paddling in and swimming, and getting in that paddle to pop up, staying with the wave. So yeah, that's what we're gonna go do. It's scenic. We'll have some exquisite mountains in the background. It'll be quite fun to see a little snow in the mountains while we're down there on the water getting a tan and just sort of returning to the nostalgia of my childhood. Wakeboarding and water, let's just say action sports, just being on the water is what opened my eyes to the lifestyle.
How do you go about your day? I know you always feel and seem super stoked. It feels like an on-brand attitude for you, but knowing you in person, I know it's genuine and real. So like, how do you keep that on a day-to-day basis? Like, is it routine? Is it freedom? Is it balance?
The routine for me is huge. The training, I mean, I love to perform on the bike or in the water, so staying on some sort of regimen just for training purposes, because I think the only thing more fun than biking or surfing is surfing and biking way more. So I'd rather be out there for like hours at a time than just like a nice 45-minute sesh or short ride. That's a big one for me. But I mean, the typical practices of early morning gratitude, classic coffee, meditation, like personal time, time with my dog, just remembering like what I'm here doing, what is all this for, just good experiences with people and making sure we're making memories, not just collecting things.
Sure.
So
yeah.
So being in SoCal and Arizona and then sort of like the mountainous west, I was just seeing so much stuff all the time. It was rad. I can tell like I love the lifestyle now because I am seeing all my friends in different zones, and if somebody calls and they're going through a tough time, like I can drop everything and go and be there for somebody. And that's what I've loved, is I know I'm always available.
At least from what I've seen of people that are gravitated towards van life as a lifestyle, like a permanent life, not like a fun summer. Like, there are people that understand that concept, and they're chasing memory, living life for what it is, not trying to make the most of their career path or their college degree or
it's weird
whatever they bound themselves to.
That identity to job is what's really wild to me. And I will say, of all the things, PT has given me one, my body back for my own time in rehab, but like as a career, I've just never heard anybody say, man, I'm glad I worked this hard. Because they're also in the zone where they're not in a quality of life that they're happy about. They're coming to me because they need change. They need to get back to a function level for their not for their caregiver, but like for their wife, for their kids. They want to be involved, but they can't right now.
Yeah.
So I've just always had people saying to me, I wish I would have worked less. I wish I would have done more stuff with my friends, family, my kids. I remember my grandmother always telling me, you're only free until you're 16. The moment you can get behind the wheel is when you start taking responsibility. And then I was like, it's pretty true, because after driving, you get bills. Then, you know, you get a house, or you get stuff to take care of, or a dog, or a kid. Like, that's responsibility growing, not shrinking.
Nothing. Like, but I think freedom really, as an adult, we have all these things to manage, but I think it becomes like that choosing your own path that you feel drawn to. You know, and sometimes we're born with talents or skill sets that vary, perspectives, backgrounds that vary, and that creates the imperfect humans that we all are. But freedom to me is not the do nothing. It's doing the thing that speaks to you.
Everything I end up sort of feeling like is now a strength has all been from like a pivotal chapter. It was some loss of friends or loss of fiance and like changes in that roller coaster and stuff. I mean, those are the chapters. You lose a good person in your life, or another job change in 2020 with a job loss. Here we are, and those pivots are what continue to make me realize, man, I definitely don't have it that bad, but even when I am struggling with my own internal battles, it's, you know, the connection with people is what always makes the good outweigh the bad. You know, the highs are always better than the lows. And that's what I love. Even now, I'm a physical therapist still. My most common feedback is, really made me feel heard. Like, thanks for listening to me. It's not like something I did. It's not like I popped
It's not like,
you know, like, oh, I'm awesome.
You really fixed my knee, I can move. They're like, oh, you make me feel better.
or motivated, you know? They're like, oh, sweet, now I want to get back to this so I can, you know, lift my kid.
This digital copying version of ourselves doesn't. Like, it's not enough. Like, people need real friends. Need real relationships. Like, if someone's van lifing, like, how to do that, but not be alone all the time.
Right.
I mean, I've got a house full of kids and a wife, and I never get a moment to myself. Those are special. Like, but I can imagine loneliness is something you kind of have to, like, you have to get social to invite people into your life.
I absolutely have had bouts of loneliness. And then, of course, people that think I'm lonely often, they definitely don't know my golden retriever. Because it's rare that I'm ever alone, really, without him. But I definitely took some hard time to reflect and make sure I liked who I was too. You know, it's easy to be lonely when you don't like who you're hanging out with, and if you're alone all the time and you're hanging out yourself, that is a dark time.
Sometimes the worst roommates.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
And I remember thinking, moving out west initially, I was in a transition. Like, man, I really want to meet some people to get me through this. It was a breakup at the time, and I reunited with some friends, met some new friends, and it was a really cool zone, and I was dating, and I was like, man, I'm not even the person I want to deliver to a new woman. So I like sort of pulled right back out of dating, and it was like, I do have some stuff I want to work on. I went right back into school. I just graduated from PT school and went into a postdoctorate program. Like, I just wanted to be better in every aspect. I just kept learning, and then eventually I was so done with school and studying, and I was like, time for self-development. And that was my own book list, curriculum of myself. And that was a fun time.
I wonder if, like, because there's definitely a thirst, like, there's a need for that type of healing, right? It's funny, as a physical therapist, that's the feedback you always get, is that mentally you're healthy.
Right.
1 hour session or whatever, right? There's a need for that. And I think schools and definitely parents don't always teach that to their kids growing up. How to manage this. We don't always
those
have
are skills,
tools we need, and it seems to be like in this like self-help category, which I think is garbage. Like,
I look at it, I mean, selfishly as a van lifer, I'm like, oh man, the more people I meet, good brands, like maybe I'll get a little spot to park. Like, you know, I'm traveling, the new van brand I'm with, they're great humans. I know them through wakeboarding, which is hilariously small world stuff. We met, we must have crossed paths like 15 years ago, and then he was like, I didn't know you were doing dance. You should see our van products. We started connecting, and I'm like, wow, what a great place to park here in this town. And I got homies. Like, that's the thing, I'm always thinking, like, man, you got community as a van traveler, like, what can I contribute to their brand? And like, I'm getting another great pit stop on whatever this journey is. It's sort of, I'm just spelling a spider web across the country now.
It's cool, man. I think it's more natural than I think people live. Even me, I'm like, I couldn't do it, but I'm just like, too many people in my life now to live in that.
Oh yeah, logistically.
Logistically, 5 of us are not happy. So, but I think like the people that are drawn to that are like, this nomadic nature of people doing that is like the most normal thing ever. Like, it's what our species did for like 400,000 years. It's like, I'm gonna go here for a bit, or here because I have to, or here because it's better, I heard. Like,
buffalo moved that direction.
That's what we do.
Hunt.
Yeah.
We need to follow that.
You just follow in waves and mountain bike trails.
I'm about it.
But it's a normal attitude. It's not weird.
Well, I mean, like I mentioned weddings earlier, that's like when you get those groups of people, you know, like from that chapter of your life, everybody's back together again.
Celebration.
It's just like such a short moment though, and that's what I've loved, putting myself back into those circles that I miss from wakeboarding in Tennessee or desert biking in Arizona. It's the stuff where I'm like, oh, I love being there once a season to see that group do it all over again and just refresh those vibes and remember what I really loved about that chapter.